trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's just a cold up there.
Ready? I'd like to call to order the City of Natchitoches Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. The full audio of the planning and zoning meetings are available at the www.cityofnatchitoches.la.gov. The next city council meeting is September the 11th. That's next Monday at this location. Applications for rezoning will be introduced and laid over at that time. Typically, there's no discussion of that application at that time. Final voting for applications for rezoning will be held by the council on September the 25th, 2023. All interested parties are encouraged to attend. Any appeals from any rezoning or re-subdivision must be filed within 10 days of tonight's decision. If you haven't signed in, please do so. We'd ask the speakers to come forward and identify themselves at the AMBO. We'd ask the speakers to speak directly into the microphone. We have no Zoom participants anymore. Our next Planning and Zoning Commission meeting is Tuesday, October the 3rd, 2023 at this spot. The procedure we'll follow this evening is that we hear from the applicant or its designee in favor of the application, then all persons in favor of the application. Then we will go on to hear persons in opposition to the application, then followed by the applicant or its designee for a short rebuttal only of the opposition points, and then we will move to the public discussion portion of the meeting among commission members. I would ask anybody that if they don't have their phone on silent or off to please silent or off to please do so at this time. Madam Director, have I missed anything?
No, sir, you have not.
Ms. Oakes, number 2, roll call.
Walter Johnson.
Here.
Anita DuBois.
Here.
Ron Brown.
Here.
Bobby Claiborne.
Here.
Ricky McAllister.
Here.
Charles Whitehead III.
Here.
Michael Lewis.
Here.
Ethel Blake.
Here.
Isaac Lewis.
Here.
All right, by my count, that is a quorum. Is that correct, Madam Director, Ms. Oakes?
That's correct.
All right. Number 3, approval of the minutes, subsection 3.1. We'd like to have the minutes approved if they're acceptable to all commission members without corrections or deletions. I would entertain a motion to approve them as proposed and waive their formal reading.
I so move.
Motion by Lewis, second by Lewis. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Number 4, old business. We have no old business. Is that correct, Madam Director?
That's correct.
I can't tell. Is Mr. Owens here for the, you were behind somebody. Number 5, new business, subsection 5.1, Northwestern State University, corner of Sam Sibley, University Parkway and Louisiana Highway 3110. Application by Northwestern State University to rezone the following 13.63 acres, being a portion of land situated on the south side of State Highway number 6 and extending southward onto the Northwestern State College campus, and that portion of the Northwestern State University lying north and west of Tarleton, being bounded on the north by University Parkway, on the south by Natchitoches Central High School, and on the west by Highway 3110. If Mr. Owens, on behalf of the university, would come forward while we get a summary by the director.
So Northwestern State University is wanting to do a subdivision and rezone of 13.63 acres of land. They're wanting to do that for future development for businesses that will be associated with or will be in a support role of the university.
All right. Dr. Owens, you heard the summary of your application by the director. Is there anything you would like to add to that?
No, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the description. This is a rezone of the described property for current and future development.
All right. Are there any questions for Dr. Owens by members of the commission? Thank you, Drake. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of the application of Northwestern State University? Is there anyone to speak in opposition to the application of the Northwestern State University? Thank you. We dispense with any public testimony and move on to the discussion by commission members.
I move we approve.
Motion by DuBois. Second by Claiborne. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. All right, Dr. Owens, that, you have a dual application. One is for a subdivision, that's final in 11 days. And then the rezoning has to come before the city council for introduction on the 11th, and then final voting on the 25th. What I normally recommend to people is that they show up on the 11th in case somebody shows up in opposition who says they can't be there on the 25th. My recommendation has always been if there's no opposition, then don't say anything at the first meeting. Yes, Madam Director?
Well, I do need to get some clarification on the plat. On the plat, it shows 31.63 acres, but according to the tax assessor, it's 16.3. So before this is filed, we need to make sure that that's changed, or find out which one is right.
Yes, ma'am.
Either the Jimmy will say it's 13.63, or Davis surveying. Yeah, and so once they find out which one this is, then we'll get the signatures we need to get this recorded.
Yes, ma'am, we'll get that updated.
Okay. And that's it.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you all.
That doesn't cause any question for any commission members, I would assume. It's the swath of property is the swath of property. Number 5.2, Mr. Clifton Davis, 241 Stevens Avenue. The application by Mr. Clifton Davis to request a variance at the following locations, lots 4, 5, and 6 of Block B of the East Natchitoches subdivision. I don't have anything more on the agenda. It's my understanding it's for the offset of a carport, is that right?
Carport covering? Yes, sir.
Okay, carport covering. If Mr. Davis or his designee would come forward while we get a summary from the director.
So Mr. Davis already has a carport that's sitting on the property. What he's wanting to do is to put a covering to extend within the setbacks, which would require a variance of 21 feet of the required 25-foot front yard setback, which is gonna leave him at least 4 feet from the property line. I think if you scroll up again, Mr. Steve, there should be a picture that will show, or if you don't have pictures, yeah. If you see at the top, can you see the building that's behind the fence line?
Yeah.
So he's wanting to extend a covering to come directly to where the fence is stopping. And that's gonna give him 4 feet of the required 25 feet front yard setback.
But it's gonna be on the other side of the
It's
fence?
gonna be inside the fence.
Oh, this side of the fence, okay.
Well, inside the fence or outside?
Inside the fence.
Okay.
It's not gonna protrude over the fence, is
Okay.
what I get from what
Okay.
he's presented. If you need a clear picture, I do have pictures that he's presented, if you
Okay.
want to take a look at that.
Is it almost the same amount of setback as the carport?
Just about.
Okay.
So am I understanding this is like a lean-to next to the carport?
Yes,
Okay.
It's gonna be open construction?
Yes, it will
Not
be.
walls?
it's just a covering. He shouldn't have any walls or anything like that.
All right. Is Mr. Davis present or his designee?
No, he's not.
All right. Do y'all have contact for him?
We have,
Why don't we pass this and move to the next matter? And this will be the last one, so he'll have just a few minutes to get here. Number 5.3, the application by Ms. Janice Scribner, 809 Second Street, the application by Janice Scribner to rezone the following. The lot 80, fronting on the east side of Second Street, north by Free, south by Grayson, east by the boundary line between Sherwin, Williams, and Wife, in the city of Natchitoches, from R2 residential to R2 residential special exception, I assume for the operation of a short-term rental?
Airbnb, yes, sir.
Yeah, all right. Would you summarize the application?
So this one is just a bit different from the other applications, but not in its entirety. We still don't have an ordinance to regulate short-term rentals. However, to keep in compliance with everything we've done before, this again will be a special exception for a short-term rental. Even though it's zoned R2, it's zoned R2 for a duplex, which could be just like any other rental. The only difference is it's gonna be an Airbnb that will use the Airbnb vehicle for short-term rentals. This piece of land is actually located directly across from Utility Service Center. Everything around this area is either R2, B1, B2, or B3. There are no R1s except for maybe down the street. Everything else is a multifamily use or a commercial use.
And I saw when I was coming back from the airport today that the Bank of Montgomery is torn down those duplexes on the, is it next to the old Bollinger site, I guess it was.
It
So
is.
those are gone, and they, if I remember correctly, they're gonna use that for a
parking
business parking lot for a business purpose.
That's
And
it.
that's only 2 doors down from this, or
2
3?
doors down, and that's
All right.
it.
All right, Ms. Scribner, do you have anything that you need to add to the comments by the director, anything else that would clarify what you're gonna do on this?
No, sir, that's
All right.
correct.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there any questions for Ms. Scribner on this application? Is there any opposition, opposition to the application of Scribner? Hearing none, we'll move to the discussion by commission members. Does the commission have any discussion on the application of Scribner at 809 Second Street? Does the commission have a pleasure?
I move we approve.
Motion by Dubois to approve,
Second.
second by Claiborne. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. That passes, as I told Dr. Owens. It'll be introduced on the 11th, next Monday. I'd suggest you show up, and if somebody wants to be heard in opposition because they can't be here on the 25th, to say something then, but I would not say anything if nobody shows up in opposition. The full voting and discussion is on September the 25th, 2023. All right, thank y'all. Madam Director, what do we want to do? I mean, we literally got office activities and adjournment. What do we want to do on Mr. Davis? Do you-
We'll have to table, I recommend that we table this application.
Let's table it, but let's table it, I think it's only fair. Is anyone here to speak on the application of Davis or opposing Davis? I think we ought to table it to a specific time, because I don't think we should table it where it could be brought up at any point in time in the future. I think we ought to set it for the next meeting. What do y'all think? I mean, I just don't want people to have to keep showing up every meeting. Are they gonna take it off the table or aren't they?
Yeah,
Is that the general consensus?
sounds good to me.
All right, well then, can I have a motion that we table this and take it up at our October the 3rd meeting?
I so move.
Motion by Claiborne,
I'll second.
second by Dubois. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. All right, number 6, report of office activities.
So as the email that I sent it out, I'm waiting on the final forms for our commission meeting training that's coming up. I really hope you guys can attend. I would love to see you all at the conference. If you can't make it, then I understand that. But
That's
if
in
you can
mid-October or mid-September?
That is in October. October. If you can just come to the commissioners' training session, I think you guys will really enjoy it. If it'll be a refreshing thing, a refresher for those of you who've been on the commission before. For you that have not, this will be an eye-opener so that you can see what we do as a planet, as the commissioners here.
So what is the date on that?
October 11th is what I'm
11th?
thinking, yeah. If not, I'll check for you and resend out a link again for you.
Trainings on.
The 13th is.
That's that Friday, it's the Friday.
That's 8 to 12.
That's the training, yeah.
That's the trainer then.
At the Bentley Hotel.
13th.
Friday the 13th.
It starts at 8, so it's from 8 to 12.
8 to 12.
All right, any other report of office activities? Anything else we need to talk about?
Not at the moment.
Number 7, Reverend Claiborne.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Lewis. All in favor say aye.